Heading course for Korriban. Uh-oh.
We've hit the ground. This is Korriban. How did one of the Jedi you're looking for come here?
An adequate job,
Uh-oh.
There are signs of life on the surface.
Huh.
Beasts by the dozen. So don't worry, you won't be quite as lonesome as she makes out. You might want to keep your, lightsaber sharp. Or do whatever you do in these situations.
Although I think that the pilot's mechanical devices are probably accurate. If there are Sith here, their numbers are few and they are hidden.
It seems quiet. Just the wind. But deep beneath the surface, you can feel the pain of what took place here. This place merely tolerates sentience walking upon it. It is pleased to have been left alone. There is great power here for those with the ambition to use it. There is great power in this place for those who can hear its call.
There is much that would draw a Jedi to this place. The resting grounds of the ancient and more recently departed Sith contain many teachings believed lost. The most likely place to find our lost Jedi is the ruins of the old Academy.
What happened here?
It was said that Revan intended to return to Korriban to subdue any potential Sith insurgents, but Revan disappeared. It took a year or two for the Republic to send a force here to deal with any Sith that may have remained. They found Korriban much as we have, barren and lifeless. It was assumed that the remnants of the Sith turned on each other, vying for what little power remained. The Republic found evidence that several Sith lords escaped Korriban, fleeing to remote sections of the galaxy.
Do you think there are any living Sith here?
As lifeless as it seems, the dark side is very strong here. The Sith Lords would not ignore such a powerful place. There is much that can be learned, even here. You should go to the ruins of the old Academy. If there are any traces here of Sith, that is where they would be.
Hey, Onion, how's it going? Alright, let's head out then.
If you walk Korriban's surface, you shall walk it without me.
Interesting. The only reason I'm hesitating on number one is because I've been acutely aware the entire game of how slowly I'm gaining influence with Kreia. And I wonder if not asking the question is gonna if she's going to appreciate that and give me another point of influence. But I'm too curious not to ask. Why won't you come with me?
I cannot. This place is strong with the dark side. It is difficult to center myself here. Korriban holds few secrets from me, but much that you should learn.
Number one, I was trying to hear it in any tone other than that of a little kid who's protesting, like being, well, left behind was what was in my head. Was like, doesn't look that bad. I'm not scared. I was trying to make it sound like an adult in my head, and I couldn't manage it. So the gamer in me wants to go with that one because I want to prompt if she's going to give me any more information, but it just seems like such a childish thing to say, especially considering that none of the things my character should be worried about would be visible anyway. Plus, her whole thing was this place is strong with the dark side. You wouldn't be able to see that by looking at the surface out of the frickin' spaceship window. As much as I want to prompt her in case she volunteers any other information. On the one hand, it's Kreia. She doesn't volunteer much. On the other hand, not only can I not make this particular line of dialogue sound like anything that would come out of a legendary general's mouth, but also, chances are she's not going to tell me anything more anyway. If anything, she's gonna fuss at me for being dumb. This is a dumb thing to say, and I feel like she would be well within her rights to do that here. Very well, stay here and keep the engines primed in case we need to leave quickly.
I will remain here and meditate. Our link remains. I shall contact you and provide guidance when needed.
The Academy is on the other side of this valley. Be careful.
Dark energy fills these ruins, and even the fallen Sith live still.
Hey son, hey Jonathan, how's it going? Good to see you guys. Malachor 5. I didn't know we were gonna end up going there. This is Korriban. I'm not gonna lie, I was half expecting the game to divert me like it did going to Onderon. Or, you know, in some other way, be like, haha, bitch you thought. But it didn't. We're here. Or so the map says, I guess. Now I have to figure out who I'm taking with me. I guess Kreia is not an option, which kind of... It's kind of useful, because it makes me not feel bad for... I'm on the last planet on my list of planets I can go to. Apparently it's not the end planet. Based on your guess, but... Trying to decide who I need to take, because... Bowdor is probably a given. Because I would still love to get him to prestige if I can. But boy, is getting any kind of influence with that man a friggin' chore. Or at least not really a chore, more like a stumble through the dark and hope you land on it type of deal. I'm also trying to think through all of Krea's various creepy cutscenes with different companions. Like, I'm thinking back to when she woke Hanhar from the fucking dead and sent him after Mira. Which kind of got me thinking, who have I not had, I guess they're not really, like... I guess there haven't really been companion quests in the traditional sense in this game. Like, it's more been like companion events. Like, Atten was the two Twi'leks showing up on Nar Shaddaa. I'm assuming that Mira's is going to be Hanhar showing back up at some point. Doing pretty good, Tim? You had a good week? I did, thanks. Managed to join the Minecraft server. I haven't done anything yet. Awesome! I'm glad you joined. Ghostly, the server owner, was telling me that there was a new account after my stream, and I wondered if that was you, but I wasn't sure. The uptime schedule is going to be getting better soon. They're working on getting it to where it'll be basically open 24/7 with like a once a week reboot for updates and whatever. Or there of it. I like it. But since they don't have that scheduled at the moment, it's been manually, because when I say server owner, I don't just mean the guy who created it. He actually owns the computer that the server runs on now. So until they can get it automated to where it'll shut down if it overheats unexpectedly, he's been having to start it up and shut it down by hand, which is if you have gone to get on at a time when it has not been open, that's why, and it will be fixed soon. Just so you know. He was like, well, how will I know if it explodes and burns my house down? We were like, Ghostly, if that happens, it'll probably be a good thing if you're at work when it happens. Like, honestly, not being there for that happening is probably the least of your concerns at that point. Just saying. Let's see. Okay, so I assume we need to bring Baldur regardless because influence. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I got dark side points for something I said to Krea in an attempt to gain more influence with her. Of course. And I guess it was just enough to drop me just below whatever threshold is required for the Pillar of Angelic Light effect. I'm not really surprised that everybody else who had one now doesn't. What I am a little confused about is that Visa's background is different than these two. And I'm wondering if it was obscured enough by the pillar of light that I didn't notice before. And I'm kind of wondering, does that have anything to do with influence? Because I'm pretty sure I have max influence with T3, and I'm pretty sure I have max influence with aaand, and have for a while. I thought I did with Visas, but I thought I did with Disciple too, and I was wrong. Oh wait, his has the... Oh, that's interesting. This has this, like, extra cloud here, as does theirs. And hers doesn't. I'm probably overthinking this, I know. Hers does too, interesting. It looks like Godo is trying to float out of his frame here. Their alignment is affected by influence, but they're also not parallel with each other. Influence in KOTOR 2 feels kind of hidden. Not telegraphed well, honestly. Okay, so what I'm wondering is, at least last time I checked, unless something has changed, Visas, T3, and aaand all had, and Disciple, actually, all had their, like, alignment meter, like, all the way at the top, with the pillar of light and everything. What I'm wondering is, since I lost my pillar of light and they all did too, did Visas only have the pillar of light because of influence, or did she only have it because of alignment? Or is it like a weird mishmash of the two that nobody quite understands? Is it just me, or does he have a slightly blue tint to his feet there? Interesting. He started out on the dark side of the alignment scale. Not nearly as much as he was in KOTOR 1, but he was definitely below the middle line. So, that's interesting. I think I'm making strides with him. Where was my list of... Ah, yeah. Plot relevant, influence unlocks, Kreia, T3, Disciple, HK. Oh yeah. Forgot, I need to piss off HK more. Not fully understood, gotcha. Okay, so of this list, I've definitely made the least progress with HK. Followed closely by Mandalore, I think. I think I've technically only gained influence with Mandalore maybe twice? Maybe even once. It can't be once, because he started out... Well, I guess anything can be anything, honestly, if nobody fully understands the alignment versus influence thing. So, I guess it is possible it was only once, but if he started off on the upper end of the dark side of the alignment chart, and I only gained influence once, I would assume he would be completely gray. Well, more like that. Maybe her screen just took a second to catch up. I was about to say, wait a second, she has some blue too, but she doesn't. I think it just took a second to update the clouds. I would have expected his to be more like that if he was straight neutral. The fact that he has this blue glow makes me think I've gained influence with him at least twice. And I think I've lost it with HK once. So you guys probably all know the question I'm about to ask. If this is the exact order of plot relevant influence unlocks, I definitely need to do the most work on HK because he's the fourth most important and probably the one I've done the least with influence on aside from Goto. But also there's the whole planet specific is a thing sometimes. Assuming I need to bring Baldur, should I go HK or Mandalore? Does it matter in terms of influence opportunities, I guess? Or do I need to bring Mira so that she comes off of the ship at some point before the end game because of Hanhar? HK and Mandalore don't really have influence opportunities at Korriban? Okay. Disciples are almost exclusively, if not exclusively, dialogue. Which is part of why I haven't brought him off the ship more than once. Is there anybody in particular I should bring besides Baldur? Because otherwise I'm probably gonna just, like, pick somebody at random. And by random I mean it'll either be strategic, as in another Jedi, or it'll be guilt-driven, as in somebody I never brought out before. Hey, Twist and Olive, welcome in. Yes, I'm trying to figure out who to bring to Korriban. Or my first setting foot on Korriban, that is. I'm a little paranoid about influence opportunities in this game just because I missed out on some companion content in KOTOR 1. And I'm trying very hard not to repeat that. But also the influence system is so, like, vague that... and varied between companions that it both makes it more difficult to make sure I don't make the same mistakes twice, and also it makes it really easy to be paranoid. I remember bringing Visas and Mira. Gotcha. Those companions don't have... okay, gotcha. Yeah, and I can't bring her with me anyway. So, Kreia will pop in when she feels like it, I guess.
The structures you see around you are
Case
the
in point.
tombs of ancient Sith lords. Each tomb was once infused with the history and heritage of the old Sith Empire, containing great mysteries and powerful relics of the Force. However, even the many traps could not long hold back the curious, the fools, and the weak. And so these tombs fell, spilling their secrets into the hands of those unable to comprehend or preserve them.
I mean, to be fair, I seem to recall it being mostly into Revan's hands. It was pretty good timing for her to pop in there. In fact, it was pretty excellent timing. I'll load this up real quick. What hours are we giving you this time? I'm trying to remember if I had a specific plan for her. Prove to revitalize will do. Oh, interesting. She's not actually as high on the light side of the alignment chart as I am. Hey, Formation, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope you had a good week. So I guess that explains the background. It just doesn't explain why it was showing her as all the way at the top there for a little bit.
It's mine.
He says, have you been doing dark side things behind my back? Like, just a couple of them? Alright.
The broken corpses before you are all that remain of the Sith on Korriban. I doubt there is much to be gained from looting these bodies. It would be best to leave them be.
Looks a bit different than when we were last year, huh? A little bit, a little bit. I'm confused by the fact that Kreia just called out my looting habits for the first time ever. And my gut says... Well, I was going to say my gut says she's trying to warn me about something without actually outright saying it. But that... It wouldn't really be a warning. It's more like trying to steer me away from something without really saying what it is. It's just weird that she... Well, that one had 51 credits in a house package.
You've disturbed the spirits of this place, and they have sent their guardians.
Well, you should have said that before I looted the body, shouldn't you? See, I figured something was gonna happen. I was half expecting it to get up as like a zombie or something, but I mean, would it kill you to just tell me the thing you're trying to tell me for once? Really? Why you gotta make it so difficult, lady? Fun fact about Coruscant that many players don't pick up on because it kind of doesn't affect much. Depending on your alignment, you get a penalty or bonus to your saves. Obviously, dark side gets the bonus and light side gets the penalty. Why did I say Coruscant? I meant Korriban. Usually just say screw it and loot the bodies. Well, yes, but I didn't know it was going to happen, which is what made it interesting. Because the fact that she bothered to say anything about my looting for the first time in the entire game told me something was going to happen. But it was part loot goblin and part sheer stubbornness because she didn't tell me what was going to happen. She didn't tell me that there was a good reason not to loot the bodies. She just said, they won't have much, which I'm a thorough loot goblin. Just because they don't have much doesn't mean I'm not going to check. So this is, you know, even though I'm not dumb and I could put 2 and 2 together, that, you know, this is the first time she's ever bothered to say something like that, and therefore it must mean something's going to happen. It was also kind of the stubbornness of, well, if you're not going to tell me why I shouldn't, like the real reason, then fuck it, I'll loot them and see what happens. Nobody's going to tell me not to loot shit in RPGs. Exactly. What are these guardians?
Hissis are semi-intelligent beasts, corrupted and strengthened by prolonged exposure to the dark side. As creatures of the Force, they have a limited ability to mask their presence. Hissis are drawn to suffering and carnage. They must have fed on all the corpses left over from the war here on Korriban. The angry phantoms of the Sith, too weak to influence the sentient, have taken these Hissis as thralls to their will.
Oh, goody. What I'm hearing is invisible, angry snakes possessed by this. What could possibly go wrong? Beast confusion works, though. I just realized it didn't even occur to me for a second that it might be 1 per body. Like, I'm expecting as soon as I unpause, they're just gonna pop up everywhere. How about you tell me? Oh, hi. Well, we've got a friend now. That one's gonna be not a friend in a second.
The honor is mine.
I've run, yes, but they're, like Jonathan said, they have their own built-in stealth generators. So, do I really want to leave an invisible thing that I know is going to become hostile again behind me? Not especially. Okay, so not angry snakes possessed by Sith. Angry wingless mini dragons possessed by Sith. Why the fuck are they called hisses? I mean, come on. You can't tell me that you hear a name like Hiss's and don't immediately assume they're some kind of snake creature. I wonder if I've now pissed off all the ones on the planet, or if it's just the ones in the vicinity of
Before you is the tomb of the great Sith Lord, Marka Ragnos, a half-breed who possessed tremendous strength, both physically and in the Force.
Tell me more.
Ragnos held power for over a century, using his cunning to turn his enemies against each other. His death left a great vacuum of power. We're standing close to the spot where Naga Sadow first confronted Ludo Kresh to vie for domination of the Sith. Their struggle nearly resulted in a civil war that would have torn the Sith apart before they ever threatened the Republic.
Shame about that. Sounds like civil wars are common among the Sith.
Yes, it is the way of the Sith. They must continually test their strength against each other, even if it means destroying themselves.
What happened between Sato and Kresh?
As fate would have it, a pair of hyperspace explorers from Sinagar landed on Korriban. Naga Sadow manipulated the Sith into believing they were a sign of impending Republic invasion. This
Unifying.
feeling resonated with many Sith who were discontent with the lack of expansion of the Sith Empire during the reign of Marka Ragnos. Thus, Naga Sadow became Ragnos' successor.
You know, I'm not even gonna blame her if she calls me a fool a second time. Because at this point, that would be fair. But if she does, my retort is gonna be, yes, but we took on 3 sometimes invisible angry wingless mini dragons possessed by Sith. Quite expediently, really. So, worth a poison rocket, 23 components and 32 credits? Maybe. Worth knowing that there wasn't anything invaluable that I'd be missing out on? Totally. Even when it's saved.
My life is yours.
Yes, but you need not give it, despite what Kreia says. Wonder how many of these bodies they're going to tempt me with. I guess Kreia doesn't feel the need to voice disapproval of intentional decisions. Only decisions made where she gave me a vague warning without actually telling me anything useful. How long? 36. Should I have thought to prep us for battle before the last corpse? Yes, but I learn slowly, but I do learn.
Weakness is revealed.
Whoa. I forgot that when I did the file integrity verification thing. No, you know what? I don't dare mess with it. It turned my motion blur back on. But I just remembered that I turned it off stream to make sure they didn't, like, screw with anything. Because sometimes the game gets wonky if I try and change graphics settings.
A weakness is revealed.
Hey, my goodness.
How may I serve?
Goodness, what's going on? Kitty cat came over with very insistent things to say. What's up? You have a weird dream? You telling me about your weird dream? Is that what's going on? You look sleepy. Were you napping? Dreaming about squirrels? Son says hi. Boy. Thank you. Came up half asleep. Hey. This is what you came up here for, huh? Thank you. May I have one hand back? Huh?
This was the tomb of Tulak Hord, known as the greatest lightsaber duelist of the Sith Lords.
And feel free to let me know, guys, if audio needs to be bumped up more at all. It still looks a little low on my mixer, but let me know. I'm happy to bump the game audio up a bit more if need be. Tell me more.
His skill was considered remarkable even in his time, when many true lightsaber masters lived.
Are you saying modern Jedi are poorly skilled with the lightsaber?
If you were to face an ancient Sith Lord in combat, you would learn that we are as children playing with toys compared to the prowess of the old masters.
Okay, thank you. The kitty cat reached out and wrapped his toe beans around my thumb. Are you holding my hand? Or you just need both hands? I'm just not allowed to multitask. I must cuddle the kitty and do nothing but cuddle the kitty. My thumb is getting squeezed in the toe beans. Yeah. All hands are belong to cat. Cat's telling you to stop disturbing the corpses. Is that it? I see. But loot goblin. Get you some dinner and just live, okay? What made him so good?
That is unknown, but supposedly he created a holocron to teach his technique to other Sith, the holocron would have been laid to rest in his tomb. Unfortunately, Tulak Horde's tomb was among the first penetrated by the grave robbers of the new Sith Order. If the holocron has survived, I doubt anyone living would know its location.
That's something Revan picked up. Or was it already gone by the time I got here? Yeah. My goodness. Really. Wow. You say it into the mic so they can hear you too? You have so much to say? Huh? I think that last one I had gotten picked up, but they're sleepy little meows. You hungry? Yeah. Are you asking for dinner? Is that what's going on? You saying, Mom, feed me? Hmm? Is that the deal of you right now? Hmm. I think he might actually be hungry because he actually ate all of his breakfast today. And all the crunchies I gave him. We can go get the kitty a little bit of an early dinner. Huh? Make you happy? Leave me to my disturbing of corpses. Okay. Alright. Wait 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Wrong direction. Okay, sorry about that. But kitties do have a way of interrupting galactic rescue missions when they aren't paid sufficient attention. In case you hadn't noticed. Oh, that's the one we already saw. It's this one down here that we haven't. I'm such a genius that after 2 times, I managed to figure out that she's probably going to give me a history lesson for every single one of these. So now we got to go to every single one. Didn't actually take me 2 times, but yeah.
Ahead lies the tomb of Naga Sadow, successor to Marka Ragnos, and the Sith Lord responsible for nearly conquering the Republic in the Great Hyperspace War a millennia ago. More recently, this tomb was where Revan confronted Uthar Vin, the leader of the Sith Academy. When Revan left Korriban, the Sith Academy was thrown into turmoil. With their leader gone, many fought for the right to rule. And so, the Sith here turned on each other, resulting in the carnage you can see covering the surface of this valley.
Okay. It looked like it could have been a path. I was pretty sure it wasn't, but I had to make sure, you know.
This way leads to the tomb of Ajunta Paul, a fierce Sith Lord. According to legend, the blade proved more fearsome than the Master, leading to his demise.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Ajunta's dark spectre lived on through the centuries until Revan entered the Sith Lord's tomb in search of the blade. Revan calmed the angry ghost of Ajanta Paul and showed him the path back to the light.
You sound like you disapprove.
One who has fallen so far and done so much evil does not deserve redemption. In a way, such a turning from one's nature is cowardly, a betrayal of the self.
Well, now that is an interesting take. If she'd stopped after the first sentence, I would have said that it doesn't surprise me, but it's very judgmental, but very also Kreia. Hey Dallas, how's it going? Good to see ya. But the fact that that was her explanation for it?
To offer proof. What I need for you is to go to Castle Necromagan.
Oh, I need to turn the volume up.
Castle Necromagan. And find.
I don't know what happened to all my volumes. Jonathan says when I played the game, I tried multiple times to get him to go to the light side, but never did. Just getting home from work. Store. Loaded 2 trucks full of wine, spirits, and other stuff. Whew, that sounds like a very tiring day. A very sore-making day. But congratulations on making it to the end of it. Betrayal of the self is a really interesting perspective on redemption. Number 2 is kind of funny. It turns out Paul was a fool. The dark side sustained him even beyond death, and Revan tricked him into surrendering to oblivion. I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it, but also, if I remember correctly, he rather preferred oblivion. And sustained might be a rather generous choice of words there. Managers were a little too happy to see me this morning. Quickly learned it was because today was truck day. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I remember truck days. Either hell, or for a very brief amount of time, it was a little bit of a party. Because for a very short amount of time, it was... The morning of truck day was the only day we had the payroll to have 3 people there. So instead of one person having to open the office, put out the cash drawers, bring in the truck, open the pharmacy, and supervise the cashier, and then the cashier having to do all the cashier stuff, we had 2 managers and the cashier all working on truck. And for a little while, that was practically fun, because it was the same team every single week, and we worked super well together, and a lot of times it would be quiet, because ours was like Thursday mornings at the time, I think. It was great for like a couple of months, and then they figured out that, God forbid, they gave us enough payroll to have 3 people there ever, and cut the payroll. Then it wasn't fun anymore. You volunteered for the shift prior to, thinking you would just be helping with online orders. Oh, so you walked right into it. Yikes. Hopefully it at least made the day go by quickly. It's interesting that these are my only two options here. No one is beneath redemption, Kreia. No one.
Perhaps. But redemption is a form of spiritual collapse, a fall few recover from.
Is it? I would have to know what she means by spiritual collapse. I would argue that the redemption would be the recovery from the spiritual collapse. But I guess it kind of depends on what you consider the spiritual and what you consider the collapsing. You learned it was just you and one other dude. Bosses had this, like, thank God you shut up face for me most of the day. Well, it's nice to be appreciated, I guess. At least you get those boss appreciation brownie points. It's always kind of a... even if it's a... sometimes it's a mixed bag, because sometimes it can suck to be too appreciated if you end up being the one everybody leans on. But also, you know, can be kind of nice to know that you made their day by showing up. If you don't get employee of the month, you're raising hell. Absolutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. What became of the blade?
Unknown. Some have suggested that the blade led to Revan's demise, as it did Ajunta Paul. That is only speculation, however. Where Revan wanders now is knowledge that only Revan holds.
I mean, it's not impossible. I'm pretty sure I still had the blade on me when we finished the game, so... it is genuinely a possibility. Unless it's this one hot chick I crush on. She gets it because she sold a lot. You can live with it. Also reasonable and completely understandable. We did go over that one already, huh?
Here, you can just barely see the Sith archaeologists' efforts to uncover relics of the ancients.
And tell me more.
The new Sith Order sought to progress quickly by finding objects of power. I can only imagine what was lost forever due to the carelessness of these excavators. Now the excavation has been almost completely undone by 5 years of wind and sand. So does Korriban protect its secrets.
This is pretty impressive for 5 years. Are we doing it again? Hell yeah, we're doing it again.
To battle. A weakness is revealed.
Let's get this over with.
You tell me not to loot bodies. Get out of here with that nonsense. I forgot about the motion blur again. Oh goody. More of these guys. I wonder. Where are you? Oh, even better.
You asked for it.
A weakness is revealed.
Unnecessary observation.
Yes.
Annoying.
Yes, we know. Termination of hostilities. We know.
Revealed. A weakness is revealed.
This won't take long.
A weakness is revealed.
That was the I wonder was. I wonder if I can stick the hisses on the HK droids. I think I managed one of them, the other one saved, but
How do you like that?
Systems failing, Master.
Let's get this over with.
A weakness is revealed. This one will fall.
I think they killed it for me. Oh, wait. I thought I saw it turn red again
My
and then it
life is
disappeared.
yours.
Maybe it was dead. It looked dead. For absolutely no reason whatsoever, I was about to say, I seem to recall there being a cave over here. Not that my character would know that. Actually, I don't know if my character in this game has ever even been to Korriban before, but just some sort of, call it the Force, if you will.
Listen. The wind from the cave tells of great power within, recently awakened.
There is great power and dark energy within this
Yeah, she
cave.
just said that.
I would advise you to finish your explorations within the Academy before venturing
Ah.
into the cave.
Might be a little late. Because we can always make them come over here.
A weakness is revealed.
Let's move on before my companions find something else to attack. It just kind of pulls us deeper in, you know? Kind of funny how that tends to happen. Also, if anybody's wondering why I follow Krea's advice some of the time, not the rest of the time, it's only partially because... Well, to be fair, both of those times, both when I didn't follow her advice about not bothering looting the bodies, and when I did follow her advice about waiting on the cave, was partially a sense of metagame hints going on, but also partially because she didn't tell me not to explore the cave. She just said to explore the academy first. She told me not to bother with the bodies, which of course immediately makes me want to bother with the bodies, right? Obviously.
take them down.
Quick level up for these guys. Oh, that's ironic. I just realized I spent so much of the game, or at various points throughout basically the entire game, I was mentioning how one of the no spoiler tips that I saw was to be as light-sided or dark-sided as possible before you go to Korriban, right? And I joked a few times about how I got, like, angelically light-sided way faster than I thought I was going to. And I stayed that way for most of the game. And then the irony that in my efforts to get more influence with Kreia, I chose a dialogue option that gave me a dark side point right before I went to Korriban. So by the time I actually went to Korriban, I was no longer fully, like, 1000% light aligned. Just, 99% or whatever. The timing is kind of an, of course, sort of thing, Why does it make me nervous that the door's open?
This door was left open on purpose. Someone is expecting us.
You can expect more than these beasts within the Academy. Be prepared.
Okay. Thank you, Visas, for instantaneously validating what I was thinking. Oh, great, this dude. And he has invisible friends.
She is here. Find her.
Oh, great. I just got a Steam achievement called It's a Trap!
My life is yours. A weakness is revealed. This one will fall.
Oh, come on, you're gonna put a backpack there and not make it lootable? In this room full of empty shit? Come on. Seriously? Lame. There used to be chests in here, damn it. Or in one of these side rooms. Not that the exile would necessarily know that, but, you know. I see you up there. Shadows. Alrighty, guys. This is really where the real fun starts. Hang on. I forgot my control for... Had a weird name. Free Look, I think is what it was.
The honor is mine.
I was just curious. I know I also have Foresight, but I wasn't sure if they were imminently attacking. And I wanted to see basically just how red they looked. Actually, since now I know they haven't seen me yet. I was curious how she was looking these days.
How may I serve?
Fast. 120 seconds. Fantastic. think this might be the first time I'm using Drain Force on anybody, actually. Just hasn't come up. Also, I was pretty sure somebody told me it was only usable on force-wielding characters. Or force-wielding enemies. And we actually haven't fought that many Sith this game, surprisingly. Choke's the one that has like 100 DC or something ridiculous like that. No. In fact, maybe the upgraded version does? But nothing she has a DC that high. I don't know what I was thinking of. Than I thought it was going to be. Don't like the blurry vision, especially knowing there are invisible dudes around. I don't remember which ones are the dead ends. Pretty sure that's the one that eventually goes to the... I was gonna say city, but the rest of the settlement on Korriban. I'm not sure if city seems a little bit generous, but... I had the cat cam plugged into my earbud charger because my regular phone was on the other one, and it is charging insanely slowly. And my phone is now charged, so I don't actually know where the cat is at the moment, but I think I always hated these corners. By always, I mean mostly when I was fighting my way out of here as Revan, and right now. Of course, who needs corners when you can just be invisible? Third one came from, but
is mine.
At least the footlockers don't send angry beasties after us.
My life is yours.
Interesting. Okay. Showed me way more of the hallway back there than I thought it was going to. Holy shit, did I just spot an invisible... Or is that a... one of the two rack whatever things? It is. I have really not been paying attention. Because apparently I can even drain force on beasts? Who knew? Oh my god, it actually fell for it. I'm starting to wonder if those things were immune. These Takata, I was kind of close, are getting to be a major obstacle in our hunt for Sith holocrons. I've been trying to use our stealth generators to sneak past them, but then some fool bumped into one of them wandering around and got himself eaten. Now the taste of fresh blood has driven the damn beast wild. Hey. You're not so bad when you're friendly. Of course we're gonna have to fight you on the way out, but... Well, he figured us out real quick. Korriban. Hey, Redman, how's it going? Yeah, he's hostile now. What was it I said about my companions finding something new to fight? Excuse you, Bowdor. The hell? Oh, maybe it was... It registered as already over. I was like, why are you not fighting? Hey, Senti Cultist, welcome in. I think Takata are in the Old Republic as well. There's a side quest on Korriban about them. Would make sense, they do seem to be everywhere. He's the Sith Academy alone for just a couple of years and they're all over the place.
My life is yours. This a weakness is revealed. A weakness is revealed.
Harvard Pine Fiber Ultramesh. This commands disabled this terminal. Bypass login and manually create ID. ID recognized. Creating new user account. New student ID is holy shit. Memorize it. What the hell? Losing your ID may result in disciplinary action. Take a screenshot of it. A metagaming screenshot. How about that? Oh. For a second I thought they were actually going to test me on it. They basically gave me the right answer with the computer skill. But also... Oh no, they aren't all the same. They swapped the 0 and the O. And then they made it 2 zeros. This is the one that matches the one that is listed on the computer skill. I was just looking to see if there was a difference. There is none. So I'm guessing... that's already a dead giveaway that it's the correct one, but... Greetings, student. Message of the day follows. Due to the absence of a headmaster, we have switched to an automated training system until further notice. Choose a command. Level 1 access granted. Library room opened. Training room. Access denied. Message follows. Level 1 students must complete the Level 1 written test before being allowed into the training room. Okay. I'm guessing I'm going to need a library for that. Or some very good guesswork, but... Also, it's a story quest, so it feels like a pretty safe bet to assume that even if I fail the test, they'll let me take it again. And it won't, because otherwise it would presumably stop the progress of the whole game. But... You... son of a bitch. Actually...
My life is yours. How may I serve?
We went down there already, I think. Yes.
How do you like that?
Pretty good hits right there. Datapad new recruits. Note to new students, in the absence of many Sith masters, basic training has been automated. Begin using the training system, access the nearest student terminal, enter a new recruit to create a new user ID. I guess I figured that one out on my own. If you encounter any difficulties, solve them yourself. Students who are too weak to be self-reliant will soon fail here. I mean, I guess the Sith have the problem of substitute teachers basically figured out, don't they? Oh. Got it, the locked door was the library. Makes sense. Thermal detonator. Data about Twi'lek Hunter. This is a work log of a Twi'lek treasure hunter. Of interest is the last entry. IJ thinks I'm wasting my time, but I will make it past this damn door, even if I have to blow it to bits with the thorium charges. We were sent here for the holograms, and I refuse to be the only one to return empty-handed. The only one, huh? I have a feeling he got duped. Company.
To battle.
Let's get this over with.
A weakness is revealed.
The bow doors flip at the end, since the guy was already on his way to the floor. Just looked like he was just flipping in defiant triumph or something.
Someone did quite a job on this door. Reinforced and welded shut. We're not getting through, that's for sure.
A dark Jedi left her impression here. This door has been sealed intentionally.
The reinforced door has been fused shut. Interesting.
The honor is mine.
Oops. Oops. This way. Need that. Totally need that. Check out the other wing before we go in the library. I would not doubt if the Sith assassins can spawn out of anywhere. The deal is there, but definitely moving its way down this way. They're not diffusable, though. Trigger something, or is it a timer? I think I triggered it. Either that or that was really weird coincidence. On the one hand, we have Master Healer over here. If it's just poison, we should be fine. Something about it feels ominous, though. And for a second, I was thinking about going by myself and just doing my breath bubble thingy. And then it occurred to me to wonder if maybe that was the trap, just to get me to go by myself. Am I getting a little bit paranoid in my overthinking? Maybe.
Poison sweating through my body.
Oh. Not just poison. Fantastic. That wasn't what I was looking for.
How may I serve? Soon,
Forgot for a second that improved heal also cures poison. Hello?
my life is yours.
That's the training room. Right. And then this was the place where that one guy was being interrogated, I think. Also locked. Great. Oh, it does come back up. I was hoping it was just start back at the top and we could just follow it down. I guess we kind of can. I haven't seen them overlap. In timing, anyway. Oh, that's 1, 2, damn it. Yeah, it works. Alright, library time. How many dark corners there are on this hallway? I knew it. There had to be somebody back here.
The honor is mine.
It has a higher DC. Literally both the same, except Force Storm still does damage. So, Force Storm it is. They don't even have the decency to drop any loot.
How may I serve?
Hit by thorium charges. Contractors, read this first. Use the thorium charges in this locker only as a last resort to clear a blocked door. The structure is very old and unstable. Cave-ins could damage or destroy the artifacts we're sent here to collect. Got it. Don't use them as a weapon. Message received. It says charges plural, but it looks like they only gave me one anyway. Fair enough. Primary buffer overflow. That's all systems to secondary buffer. All right. Academy Library Terminal. History of the Sith. Volume has been deleted. Trying to main. Guess I should have expected that one. Seems to be a popular course of action among all sorts of actions these days. By all sorts, I really just mean the Sith and the Jedi. I'm going to take a wild guess that the holocrons are also gone. The Academy contains a large collection of Sith holocrons. Basic holocrons containing a variety of historical and training information have recently been made available to students in the library. Message ends. Okay. Interesting. Flora and fauna. Volume has been deleted. This code. Message follows. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain something. Victory. Through victory my chains are broken. I almost sort of remember that one. I remembered the cadence of it more than the specific words, which doesn't super help. I have a feeling this is what the level 1 test is about. Passion to strength, strength to power, power to victory, victory to no more chains. Got it. Go take a pop quiz, huh? I guess it's not really a pop quiz if we knew it's coming, huh? But either way. Take level 1 written test. Message follows. Level 1 test contains 5 questions. At the end of the test, you will be told how many questions you answer correctly. To proceed to level 2, you must correctly answer 4 questions. It's recommended that you study the learning material in the library before proceeding. End test. Oh, it's not the Sith code, or at least this one isn't. Which is following Sith Lords does not possess a tomb on Korriban. We're saying that my character studied way harder. Take notes, class. This will be on the exam. Right. See, I can say that my character just studied harder than I did, skimming through what options remained, because out of character, I've been here twice. Reed and Ned. That's not this planet. Been there. Not this planet, though. Question 2. A number of Sith Lords conducted the burial ritual of the Great Makaragnos. The ritual required all Sith Lords in attendance to be evenly spaced in a perfect circle. The crash led the ritual from the coded 6th position, directly opposite Simus in the 16th position. How many Sith Lords conducted the burial ritual? Hang on. Fourth, 18th. Third, 19th. Second, 21st, 21. It'd be 21, I think. Question 3. Which of the following creatures would be least suitable as a pet for Sith Master? My brain is coming up with all the devious things you can do with Gizka. I suppose mostly just spread them everywhere. It certainly seems the least Sith-like in general demeanor, though. Which of the following statements is not a paradox? Not a paradox. Student teaches his instructor who teaches his student. I always lie. Definitely a paradox. Statement is false. Same concept. To be powerful, one must have an army. To have an army, one must be powerful. Is no the answer to the question? I was double checking all the ones I thought were paradoxes because I'm assuming it's the first one. Because teachers could be anything. Student could be teaching his instructor one thing, who's then teaching the student something else. 2, 3, and 5 are obvious paradoxes. Because obviously if no is the answer to the question, then the answer to the question would be yes, right? Yeah, I think it's the first one. Student teaches his instructor who teaches his student. Question 5. The path to breaking chains is... This is exactly why I ran through it a second time. Passion, strength, power, victory. Says using math and logic puzzles proves that those things are evil. They're screening for people inclined to torture. Wait, did I fail? I guess I failed. The only thing that the library helped me with was the code one. Three out of 5, okay. I know that one's not incorrect. Unless they fucked up the test bank, which... Funny IRL story. I have a tendency to be the person to find questions in any bank of, like, quiz questions. Like, you know how they'll have a giant pool of questions and they'll pull a random 10 out for a given chapter so that you don't have the same quiz for every student every time for chapter 1 or whatever. I have a really mind-boggling tendency to end up with the one where they have the incorrect answer marked as correct and being the one to catch it. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's how I got my current job. Because I took a Linux class. And their test bank was full of shit like that. Either there was no correct answer, or there were two correct answers, or it was like clear which answer was meant to be correct, but it had a typo, so it actually wasn't correct either. Or like the correct answer was one of the ones that the system thought was incorrect, so they had the wrong one marked as the yes answer. And there were quite a few emails to my professor, and I think that's how I got my current job. In fact, I'm almost certain of it. Okay, hold on. This is a lie. There's only passion. Passion gives strength. Strength gives me power. Power gives me victory. Victory equals no more chains. I'm almost certain that one was correct. So if I got 3 out of 5 correct, and one was the Sith code and one was the Freedom Nat one. I don't remember what question 3 was. Oh, question 3 was the pet for a Sith Master. Out of the options they gave, Gizka were the only ones that weren't instantly hostile toward you. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I'm positive. Because 3 of them were on this planet. If I was correct about that, because I can't imagine that I wasn't, that means I got this one wrong, and I got the paradox one wrong. Oh. Well, I was about to say the paradox one was a trick question because it was referencing the Sith code, but it just didn't do it directly. It wasn't, though, because the question wasn't like which one of these is accurate. It was which one of these is not paradoxical. We'll get there when we get there. Hold on. I mean, either way, I'm almost certain this is one of the ones I got wrong. Oh. Hold on. I needed to go more math with it. And less logic. If 6 and 16 are directly across from each other, that means there are 10 positions in between them. Or 9 positions in between them. Yeah, 9 positions in between them. on going from 6 to 16. 16 plus 9 is 25. Oh, no, hold on. $16 minus the 5. So I'm imagining a circle, 6 here and 16 here. It starts at 1. Between 6 and 16 is 9 people, which means there's 9 people over here, minus the 5 that are in positions 1 through 5. 9 minus 5. Am I doing this right? Yes. There are 9 people on this side, minus 1 through 5. Is 4. 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 people. Sheesh. Should have done it that way the first time. I was trying to dodge the math of the question, and I really shouldn't have. Can you blame me, though? As Toaster said, that's proven that those things are evil. At the very least, masses. This has to be a Gizka. Come on. Okay, which one's not a paradox? Statement is false. Statement. Hold on. Actually, it is false, but saying it's false makes it true. It can't be true because it says it's false. Okay. That one's definitely a paradox. I always lie would then be a lie, which would then, yeah, okay. So I was right, I think, about the two that I was a little baffled between. We'll go with the powerful army one. Paradoxical statement. The statement is false, Master. Passion, strength, power, victory. I'm still almost certain that's the right one. Hey, I still got one wrong. Wait, which one did I... Oh, that's annoying. Does anybody know which one it was that I got wrong? Please. The overachieving student in me is gonna go crazy. Oh, hello there. Like I said, doesn't surprise me they respawn.
Your weakness is revealed. A weakness is revealed.
Are you gonna do the poison thingy again? Yep.
Poison is spreading through my body.
You're right. I am currently lying to you would be a paradox, but I always lie isn't. Thank you. I was simultaneously overthinking and not thinking hard enough. Both at the same time. Oh dear. Hi. What's up? You just gonna say hi? Yeah. Sweet. Oh, sweet kitty. The cat has loafed himself on my mouse pad. This could be an interesting training sequence. It's a fuzzy butt navigation training sequence. Well, 2 training sequence corrupted. Resolving. Results. Level 16 training sequence initiated. Great. Yeah, I was about to say, let me guess all of them at once.
My life is yours.
Let's get this over with.
At least we can get one of them on our side. That went way faster than I thought it was going to. Honestly, I would feed you and take you home if you would be nice to me. Continuously. Instead of just temporarily. Training failed. Time elapsed. Fraction. Unacceptable performance for a level 16 student. Report to detention room for disciplinary action. From who? I guess they needed some excuse to let me out, huh? Ah, and to let me in there, I suppose. Fair enough. For a second, I actually forgot we were here looking for a Jedi. Hang on, I gotta open my cheat sheet real quick. Demolitions, persuasion, security. Got it. Disciplinary action. Excuse me. And what was I taking for my next level up? I think I thought about going for stasis field, but given that I was leveling up to 25 at the time, I wasn't sure if I would have enough levels that give me powers to actually ever get there. But I think I did vitality last time. Does make sense since I am the only person who's always with the party. Actually, that's not even true. And now I feel like I've had this whole train of thought before. Oh dear.
Oh, yes. I felt this Jedi's death shortly after we arrived on Korriban.
Gosh, she was a member of the Jedi Council. Wonder how long she's been here. Oops. This is the Journal of Master Lana Vash. Found the Sith that I came to Korriban looking for. I'm no fool, but I fell neatly into their trap. Their leader, Darth Sion, the perversion of the dark side such as I have not seen before. Though he was cunning enough to capture me, he seems otherwise to be a volatile brute, and therefore should be easily coerced. If I keep my wits about me, I have no doubt I will escape this situation. Before I was captured, I managed to create a system account under my name on the console in the room here. That will allow me to open the door back to the valley. Apparently she was one of those quickest to reject me, but... Also, is this the same body that Revan looted? Which I think was the guy that she tried to rescue. Very, very, very hard. I tried so fucking hard to rescue that guy. Oh. Lana Vash. She created a system account under her own name. It just seems like a terrible idea. Self-preservation and RPG player curiosity are currently at war. Because I want to know what'll happen. But also, I'm not dumb I'm not completely dumb most of the time. And this is the Sith we're talking about. They called it detention. But Sith disciplinary action could definitely be death. In fact, that feels more likely than not. I did quick save though. Detention center staff will execute disciplinary action. Oh, okay. That. Nothing, huh? Okay. I wonder if the system thinks that I've had my disciplinary action now. It could come in handy if I have to... Oh.
How may I serve?
This is the best teacher, or was it Pain? One of those, anyway. Right.
Did you come here for answers? There are none. The call of Korriban is strong, but it is the call of the dead. I have studied you, immersed myself in you. I know the paths you walked in exile. I know your teacher. I know the fires that raged upon the Ducks and Moon while the Republic died around you. You know war. You know battle. And I know of Malachor. You know what it means to be broken. The one who travels with you will destroy you, as she did me. I can end it before it begins.
So many questions. Given that the obvious conversation enders are all at the end, I'm hoping that means I get to ask all of them. What do you know of Kreia?
I know her as an apprentice knows their master, and as a master knows an apprentice.
What do you want with her?
I want her to die and see all that she has built cast down, all that she holds dear in shards at her feet.
If you want revenge on her, don't let me stand in your way. How do you know Kreia?
I know her as an apprentice.
I could have sworn the other question was, what do you know of her? So I thought it was a different question. What does she want with me?
She clings to hope that perhaps she can train one as great as her first. She is a fool who escaped death once.
More than
She
once
will
at this
not do
point.
so again.
I was just debating... Well, I wasn't really debating because... Well, I guess I sort of was. I was sort of debating between I will not let you harm her versus dodging the question entirely and going with one of the other okay, shut up and let's fight options. But it was more of a I could do this or that thought followed by a train of thought that wasn't really debating between the two. It was more like really wondering what her side of that story would be, because I don't necessarily fully trust her. But do I trust her more than a Sith Lord who has presumably been hunting me? Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, she at least has been helpful and not, like, actively trying to kill me, you know? It's amazing the amount of bonus points you can get just for that. You know, minor details. But I was also trying to think of whether it even matters. Even if he's right. At least in terms of her intentions. Does it matter? Because she will destroy you as she did me is his conclusion. I don't really know anything about what went down between the two of them, aside from that he was an apprentice and he wasn't the only one, and Krea's whole, like, little vision cutscene that plays out that we've seen a couple times. So for all I know, it could be one of those things where he got greedy and did something stupid and it backfired on him and he blames it on her for, like, I don't know, inspiring him to seek more power or something. Either way, that part has nothing to do with me. But even if she's right about trying to, like, basically train up a super powerful apprentice, does it matter? I mean, whether or not I believe her, she has suggested that she is only a fragment of what she once was. Obviously, she's still a pretty strong fragment, considering how many of my companions she's had very creepy interactions with behind my back, but my character doesn't know that. And so far, and this is probably the biggest thing, so far she's let me make my own decisions. She's expressed disapproval in no small portion when I don't make the decisions she wishes I would make. But she hasn't done anything to try and interfere with it. Which all kind of piles together to create the no, not really. That is my answer to the does it matter question. Like, at least right now, it doesn't really matter if he is right. Because of all the things I just mentioned, you know? That's what I meant by debating, but not really debating, but kind of debating. It started off as I could do two of these options, and then mental rabbit hole. That said, she does have a soft spot in her somewhere. I know she does, because she keeps encouraging me not to, like, trust people and stuff, and yet she seems touched when I express that I trust her. And as we've established, she can pop in anytime she pleases, so hopefully she'll hear me say this and appreciate it. I will not let you harm her.
But you do not know her as I do. You have not survived her teachings as I have, and you have not bested her in battle as I have. You are nothing. Yet still she walks with you, is willing to sacrifice herself for you. You are a wretched thing, a thing of weakness and fear. You are her apprentice in name only. I am the master, and that is why you will die.
Oh, well, now I know you were wrong about all sorts of things. I mean, clearly your judgment of people leaves a little bit to be desired, right? Welcome back. Just me overthinking, my relationship with Kreia versus his relationship with Kreia, and talking about if he was right about what he said with her. Like, does it even matter? Like, the parts that were objective fact, or could potentially be objective fact, like she's trying to, yeah, as usual, exactly. I don't know what else you expected. Followed by my immediate conclusion, based on all of this shit he just said, that I was right to suspect he might be wrong about some things, or biased at least on some things, because he's clearly not an especially good judge of character. I mean, let me see. I'm nothing. I'm a wretched thing. A thing of weakness and fear. Doesn't sound much like the legendary fearless general that even the Mandalorians respect now, does it? I'm just saying. Her apprentice in name only. Is the master, and that is why I will die. And I very much hope that I'm not. I almost said sticking my foot up my ass. That is not how it goes. I hope I'm not putting my foot in my mouth. There we go. By saying that, like, I hope I'm not about to insta-die. Cope and projection. Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking. Even if he was right about her intentions for me, his arguments for why that's a bad thing really just sounded like cope and projection. What's the range on these things? Meters with a target. Okay. Single target at the moment. Also single. Okay. And then mine is the one that's something of me. The meters of me, right? Okay. You'd save. Also. Oh, and then. How many levels? Oh, she only has the first level. I don't suppose he'll fall for a force drain, but it's worth a shot. I can never remember which buffs have to have the party nearby and which ones are... everybody regardless. So I had to check because they're kind of far back there. Everybody still has their proper cues. All right.
Let's go.
Ow. This is dumb. This is the one thing about the combat that I loathe is the stupid AI. Not AI. Combat control, like the first round doing whatever it damn well pleases.
Let's get this over with. How do you like that?
My life is yours.
This won't take long.
Two of them now, right? Okay, good.
How do you like that?
Sion. He cannot be defeated. He is not a beast of flesh and blood. This is not a battle that can be won. Flee.
I mean, to be fair, he doesn't look much like a beast of flesh and blood. Wait, where though? I like how we're all just standing there waiting for Kraya to finish talking before we go back to fighting. I guess. Or running, whichever. Now you tell me. Anything else you want to share?
There will be another time, but it is not now, not here, while Korriban runs through him.
That's annoying.
Do not harm her. I command it. She has earned this. She and I will meet again.
I went from being a worthless weakling and absolutely nothing who will die to I've earned the right to flee. It's an interesting turn of events. Okay. That is a strange one.